Welcome YouTubers to my brand new channel. I'd also like to welcome you to the Recycle Daddy Garden. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you after the intro. Hello YouTubers, welcome to my brand new channel. It's recycledaddy.co.uk is the blog, go and check it out. I just wanted to put a quick introduction video together to explain the following series of movies that I'm going to be doing over the next few months. I was going to film this outside. Unfortunately, my local area is pretty much picked up in sound volume over the last half an hour. So all you could hear outside was wind, taxis, cars, police engines, children, because all the kids are off on 6 weeks holiday at the moment. So I thought, well, I'll bring it inside just for this one. Most of my other videos will be recorded on a morning, so I'm hoping that will cut down a lot of the background noise. Also, I've got better sound equipment setting that I'll need to set up. That'll mean that you won't pick up so much of the background noise. But for the time being, I just thought I'd bring this video inside and talk to you so you can hear me. And then obviously when I'm doing stuff outside, you'll have to excuse the background noise. I'll do the best I can, but that's pretty much it. So anyway, back onto the story of how the channel and the blog and how all this came about. So about a year ago, I had some issues. I won't go into them too much. If you want to find out a bit more, there's a little bit about it on the blog, not a lot. I don't want to go into personal issues too much. But basically, my stomach especially was shot. I was suffering from IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, for the guys who don't know the acronyms. I'll try and keep it relatively simple. So I was looking at improving my diet. Well, I cut out all the gluten in my diet. That definitely helped. I'm not celiac, however, I am gluten intolerant. It does upset my stomach. But also I looked into coming more towards the organic side of food, cutting out all those chemicals, herbicides, pesticides out of my diet, and I did it. I went to organic and it was brilliant, and my stomach really liked it. No more gluten was fine, organic food was fine, until my wallet started feeling it. Organic, as soon as a shop puts organic on anything, you can double the price of it. I've seen organic production. It's not easy. You can see why it's more expensive. However, at the end, at the consumer end of it all, we do pay a lot for the label, even compared to what the actual farms and producers get. I think everyone's got to eat organic, and because it's become a popular mainstream thing now. I mean, okay, yeah, it's brilliant. No one wants to be eating chemicals and consuming chemicals. However, our industry, farming industry, has been based on chemicals and pesticides and herbicides for so long anyway. Pretty much since the world wars, we've been using things like DDT and God knows what else. So our farming industry has been used to doing that. However, now you can see the consumer wants, free from pesticides, herbicides, free range organic food. Problem is that supply and demand, they're going to charge us extra for organic food. So my food bill went from probably like £50 a fortnight to like £150, which was out of my price range. So in the end, I kind of went, well, I can't afford to run this. I've cut out my gluten-free food on its own is expensive. So I was just like, right, I'm going to have to just go back to general food and see how we go. Then I started watching a few YouTube videos about allotments, mainly Rick Van Man's channel, who is now no longer doing allotment videos. However, please go check out his channel. I'll put a link in the description below, and you guys can go and check him out. All his old videos are quality. So I've watched all the old back catalogue, and Rick, it's a shame, but we understand that you've had enough. Anyway, I don't want to go off too much about Rick. Rick, sorry, but check out his channel. I pinched his music for my intro, so I've got to say his name somewhere. Anyway, and also the Hawk channel from Sean, he's still going strong. So that was part of. I started watching those channels and thinking, well, yeah, I can do most of this. So I kind of started to change my garden into like a kitchen garden, kind of grow a few vegetables. I've been doing that for about a year now, and I am getting some harvest from it. I mean, July, August now. August is a busy month. I've got peas, beans, beetroot, turnips, potatoes. I'm going to dig out for you guys later and we can see what we've got. I don't know what I've done with the potatoes. I've had certain berries, I've had herbs, spices, everything. I've had a decent amount, but because I was gardening organic and it was kind of new to me, I kind of took it for like a year of experimentation, try and find out what works, what doesn't work. For example, everybody can grow rhubarb apparently except for me. It's supposed to be like a weed. Everybody can grow it. I just didn't have any luck this year. I think I'm going to try again. I'm going to try next year and see how we get on. But anyway, so I've done it for a year, and I thought to myself about a couple of months ago, how far can I take this? How much of my food production, the food I consume, how much of that can I produce myself? So I've been watching, listening to a podcast. They've got a YouTube channel as well. I'll link to both. By a couple of American guys called We Grow Ours, which two guys. One's really into aquaponics. One's really into rabbit killing. It's not really rabbit killing. It's meat production from rabbits. Both of which are based in the States. So a lot of their principles really don't work in England. For example, I think they live in a really dry climate, so they're all about retaining water. Now, water's like one of our two main non-renewable sources that nobody ever thinks about. Clean water, especially. However, in the UK, we don't suffer from 6 months of the year it's not pure desert or sun. We do get quite a lot of rain, which is good because we don't have to worry about our water so much. But anyway, so their principles, I started listening to them and thinking, oh yeah, I can do some of this. I can organic gardening, maybe look into aquaponics, maybe looking at some very small livestock. But the main concern I have is that I have about 0.03 of an acre of land. So I'm not going to be able to drop a cow on my back garden and get milk or meat from a cow. I'm going to be mainly looking at small livestock, maybe chickens, maybe quail. I'm not going to be slaughtering rabbits on my YouTube channel, so don't start panicking about that. As much as I like rabbit meat, I don't know if I've got the stomach to slaughter it myself, so we'll see about that. But mainly my channel is going to be about how I can turn this current kitchen garden. It's a small plot, it's a small bit of land, but I'm going to aim to turn it. I will turn it because it will happen. Me being the optimist I am, I can't not let it happen. Turn it into a self-sustaining farm. Not only do I want to be organic as much as possible, obviously I can't promise that somewhere down the line I'm not going to be like, oh my god, these pests are getting to me. So I'm going to just, pull out some pesticide. That's not me, but you never know. Also, I've been reading a lot about things like biodiverse growing, things like soil biology, basically all the stuff organic gardeners go on about, which I will explain as I go through. So if you have any questions, whack them in the comments, drop me an email, leave a message on my blog, whatever. If I go on about something you don't understand, please get in contact with me. I'm on Twitter and Facebook as well. All those links will be in the description below. Just feel free to hit me up if you've got any questions. Suggestions would be brilliant. Also, if I'm doing anything wrong on YouTube and you guys don't like it, let me know. I'm guaranteeing a few people won't like my farming hat, but I don't care. It's my farming hat. That's, when I'm talking about farming, I put my farming hat on. If I'm talking about something else, I'll have another hat on probably. So my mindset works. But I'm not going to keep it. It's not going to be, and I'm not going to be there talking too much about one thing. I'm going to be bouncing around a lot because that's what I'm like. So anyway, please I'm going to do a quick tour of I'm going to show you a tour of the garden I did yesterday. I did it at a decent time, so you guys can see roughly what my garden looks like. There's a small cutout in the middle where I had a bit of an issue with sound, so check that out and feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. As I say, head over to my blog. I'll be discussing more of it, so more of the background information there as well. But until next time, peace and love, and have a good day, and see you soon. So after that brief intro, I wanted to quickly do you a quick garden tour of the forest, aka the Recycle Daddy's garden, as it currently stands.
As you can see, it's well overgrown, untended to. But there are some plants here that were planted for food. So, okay, start over here. There's potatoes, and they've got to be harvested soon because I think I've got blight. So we'll do that. That'll probably be in another video coming up soon. There's my potatoes. I've got 2 elephant garlics. They didn't take at all. One here, one here. As you can see, I plant very close together, and there's lots of weeds everywhere. This is my garlic. It's coming along okay. To be fair, that'll probably have to get pulled soon as well. In amongst this bunch of weeds, I've got some shallots. I'll see if I can put one out. There you go. They're pretty much ready to roll, I think. Might harvest some of them and see how we get on. Then we've got celery. Plenty of radishes everywhere. Most of them have gone to flower. I've got to say, radish flowers are pretty cool, aren't they? But the radishes underneath will be no good now. See? No good. More radishes. Oh, celery. My celery's done alright this year, to be fair. I've had some already, but this is coming along okay. Move along. If I can fight my way through the weeds. There's some more radish there as well. Over here's my beetroot. I've already had some beetroot. There's still some baby beetroot to be had. The leaves are really good actually. Okay, then Swiss chard. Some more radishes. In amongst here. Weeds. More weeds. Love the weeds. Then I've got, these are my big Gardeners Delight tomatoes. And I've got some tomatoes on them, but I need to really work on getting them sorted and pruned and looked after. I can't just let these grow pretty much like the rest of my garden. Broad beans have come to an end now. We're at the end of the garden. I only had my last few. There's my recycled, my compost bin, which as you can see is overflowed and full of ants. So we're going to have to sort that out as well. There are some strawberry plants down here in amongst the weeds. There's a strawberry flower. Okay. This was a wildlife area, but unfortunately it seemed like the whole of my garden became a wildlife area quite recently. So that's something else I've got to deal with. Plus all these brambles and leaves, and all of these brambles as well. Here I've got another patch of tomatoes. No tomatoes on them yet, but I've got flowers. I can't remember what these are called, but I'll dig the name out and post it somewhere in the video when I find it. These are my pepper plants. Once again, nothing going on here. Because I don't have a real greenhouse, I haven't been able to concentrate on them much. Alright, bit of an interlude there. Anyway, here's my peppers. As I said, because I don't have a greenhouse, it's a bit of a nightmare to grow peppers and tomatoes to their full fruition, I suppose, without a greenhouse. More weeds in my pumpkin patch. Greatly underestimated how big they would grow. They're doing alright, to be fair. I've had a few flowers, but no sign of fruit yet. And there's some nasturtiums in the middle as well, because I don't mind flowers as long as you can eat them. So there's my pumpkin patch right underneath my bird feeder. Custom bird feeder made by my son, so that's going to stay in no matter what happens. Okay, quickly talk about the shed. The shed is far too big for me. All I use it for is storing rubbish. So I'm going to break that down, and I'm going to use that for other things. Then I've got what was going to be my herb bed, but ended up just getting overgrown with everything. A lot of there is some mint in there. The mint's probably older than me. It was in here. My nan planted this way back. So, and it props up everywhere. It's just as much as a weed as everything else in the garden. And I've got my beans, my runner beans. They come to flower. I've got a few beans on them. Nothing massive going on there really. Behind there, I've got all this mass of greenery, turnips. But all they seem to do is attract slugs. I've planted them for ground cover, but I'm going to have to dig all of them out now. I haven't had any actual turnips off them. When they were younger I did have, I did use some of their leaves in salads, but oh, actually, there we go, there's a turnip. I might dig that out and see what that looks like. I've got my peas, which didn't climb at all up this structure, but I have had peas off, and my son loves to come along and pick them and eat them. So there's all my peas. Then some more Swiss chard, because I love it. Behind that are some very ill looking cucumber plants, and then there's the monster that is my courgette plant, and I've got some courgettes growing underneath there and some underneath there. Some plants that I never got out, a greenhouse that keeps falling over. Plants I never got out, these are broad beans, but they're pretty much all dead now I think. Some more turnips, some more, yeah, again some more broad beans with a little broad bean on, which is pretty cool. Strawberries, that are these are an absolute bargain. I think they're like 10p. There you go, look. 10p from Wilkinson's, and with a bit of water and care they seem to have resprayed, so they'll be alright for next year. Here's my herbs that once again I never got out. A ginger plant that's seen better days, but I reckon I can recover that. Coriander and some edible flowers, which once again I never planted. These nasturtiums, and behind them are some other plants that I can't remember. And these guys are brilliant. These are my dragon fruit, and they've been growing for about 3 years, and that is as tall as I've got. They're going back inside probably in the next few weeks because I don't want to risk the cold weather with them. And then I've got loads of wood, loads of bits and pieces, loads of rubbish, loads of pots and bits, all of which need to get sorted out. The wood is for building my raised beds, and compost heap, which is going to go at the bottom of the garden hopefully. But anyway, that's the quick tour of the garden. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe, and check out my blog, which is at www.recycledaddy.co.uk. Thank you for watching.